Hi, everybody. This is Lena Jacobson here with the Lena Group. I just want to say hello to everybody, and I want to introduce this amazing guest that I have today, Gabe Cotlin. He's going to talk in a second about his company, but basically, we're going to talk today about credit and how we can help you to improve it. Hi, Gabe. How are you?
Good, Lena. How are you? Thanks so much for having me on with you.
Thank you so much for taking the time for talk to us. So, Gabe, talk a little bit about your company and how have been helping thousands of people to improve their credit. And in our case, because I'm more focused on the real estate side, how can you help my clients and your clients to become homeowners?
Sure. So the name of my company is Liberty Credit Experts. We are a performance-based credit repair company, which means we charge absolutely no monthly fees. We are performance-based. So if we help you, we charge you. We don't help you, we don't charge you. So we kind of align our interests together as one. We're located in Florida, in Boca Raton, Florida, and we help our clients with their credit profile. We try to help them achieve the healthiest possible credit profile, which will make them better qualified for home ownership. So if a client doesn't have the best credit, they may not qualify for a loan. If they don't qualify for a loan, they're going to have to wait until they do so that they can purchase that home. We help people with removing negative marks off their credit profile that are not verifiable, that are untimely, that are inaccurate. We help clients establish credit. So a lot of times consumers don't really need credit repair. They just need credit, right? So we help them get different types of credit cards. We help them build their credit. We show them how to use the credit cards in a responsible manner, not as an extension of their income, but in a responsible manner to establish credit, to ultimately get them to where they need to be. So that's what we do. And we also help with student loans. If they need help with student loans, we can help them with that. We can help them with the offer and compromise on tax liens too. So whatever we could do to help them, we're there to help them out. We even have really great debt elimination strategies that will help the client eliminate debt, which is also very important, because if you're trying to buy a house and you have a lot of debt, you may not get approved for that loan. So if your debt to income ratio is too high, you're not going to get that loan. So it's important for us to understand that both credit and debt are important factors that determine whether you're going to get a loan or not going to get a loan.
Yeah, that's very, very important. And in some other cases, just in some few cases, they change from a lower, just a little bit on the score, let's say from 680 something to over 720 in credit score, will give the buyer a way better rate. And if you help them to eliminate a little bit of the debt, like you were saying, that will help them so much on the purchase, the monthly credit ratio that they can use for using for the mortgage. So their purchase possibility will be bigger. Maybe just will jump from being able to buy a house around 375 to 400. Just with a little bit of managing the debt that you have and managing a little bit your credit score, it will give you so much purchasing power that is so important. What Gabe is coming here to teach us today. So talk about what you're going to teach us today. Can you give us the most important tips that somebody can take to improve their credit score?
Sure. So in order for us to understand how to improve our scores, we have to understand what makes up a credit score, right? If we know what makes up a credit score, then we know exactly what to do, right? So a credit score is broken down into 5 different factors, right? 5 different factors that influence that score, right? Now, if you're trying to buy a home, you're going to have a score range of between 300 to 850, okay? Obviously, the higher your credit score, the higher the probability that you're going to get approved for a loan product, a credit card, an auto loan, and things of that nature.
In general, in general, to improve everything in their life, is like we prepare you guys to buy the home, but in general, it will improve anything that you really need to buy. Credit is so important in this country. Credit is the base of the foundation, basically, of how trust, like how much a bank or a loan, or even to open a cell phone account, they can trust you depending on your score. So that's very important. Thank you, Gabe.
Yeah, absolutely. Even your insurance premiums here in Florida are influenced by your credit rating, right? So it's not only do you drive well, it could also be, is your score where it needs to be, right? Even the limits that you get. In certain situations, employers even look at your credit profile to determine whether you get that job or not, or that's one of the influencing factors, right?
Yeah.
So let's break down what a credit score is, right? So the credit score that we're going to talk about is going to be a FICO credit score, right? So let's understand what the difference between FICO and other credit scores are. Because a lot of us probably have an app that gives us a score, right? And a lot of times we don't understand that that score is not necessarily the correct score that a loan officer is going to use to give you a loan or not, right? So a lot of times the scores that you find on apps are Vantage Score 3.0, which is completely different from a FICO 2, 4, and 5, which are the classic models for mortgages, right? So they're two different aspects. The way I like to explain it is like weighing yourself, right? When I weigh myself at home, I weigh a certain amount. But then I go to the store, right? A shopping store to buy food or whatever it is, and they have a scale on there. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go see how much I weigh, right? So I get on that scale, and that scale is either 10 pounds over or 10 pounds under. And I'm like, what the heck's going on, right?
Go to the doctor. It's always 10 pounds more. I don't know why.
I don't know, and it's not that the scale is wrong. The scale still measures weight, right? It's just that the scale is calibrated a little bit differently, right? It's still measuring how much you weigh. And the same thing can be understood about the different scoring models, Vantage Score 3.0, which is what, Credit Karma uses. A lot of consumers have Credit Karma. It's still measuring risk. That's what a credit score is measuring, risk. How likely are you to go seriously delinquent in the future, right? The higher your credit score, the less the probability that you're going to go delinquent in the near future or seriously delinquent in the near future. The lower your credit score, the greater the probability that you're going to go seriously delinquent and not be able to pay that loan back. So the scores are not there to show how awesome you are. They're just showing there to see how likely you are going to go seriously delinquent and then eventually maybe not pay on that debt, right? So we always advocate to try to get the highest score possible because it's only going to be a benefit to you, okay? So those are two different types of score range. And Vantage Score 3.0 is the same range, 300 to 850, just like the FICO 2, 4, and 5 are 300 to 850. So we just have to understand which scale we're going to get on today to buy a house, right?
Yeah,
so that's
lender is looking at. That's what is the most important part. Yes, you're right.
Absolutely. So let's talk about credit scores, right? What makes up a credit score? So 35% of your score is your ability to pay on time, right? So if you're paying on time, that's all positive influence towards your credit score, right? 35%. If you start getting late, if you start getting collection accounts, if you start getting repos, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, all those different things are a reflection of someone not being able to pay properly, right? You weren't able to manage that debt properly, or you owe someone money in one way or another, right? It reflects directly on your credit worthiness. So avoiding those different things are very important because that influences the greatest percentage of what your credit score is, which is 35%, right? So a great way to influence that 35% of your score is to actually make your payments on time. It's the easiest way to influence that 35%. I mean, the whole point is someone lends you money and they're trusting that you're going to pay them back. If you pay them back on time, according to the agreement, then you have good credit, right? So it's one of the simplest ones that you can influence simply by paying on time, right? Another thing that I would suggest is if you have credit cards and you're making payments towards that credit card, sometimes things happen and you forget, right? So I always suggest to my clients, like, call your banks and put your payments on auto draft, right? For just the minimum payment. At least you're making that minimum payment to avoid any late marks. Late marks will definitely bring your score down significantly, and that's something that you really want to avoid. Late marks could bring your points down anywhere from 50 to sometimes over 100 points. You know, so you have to be super, super careful. Okay, so 35. Yeah, go right ahead.
That's what I was gonna say. So it's 35% being on time. 35% of the score that you wanna have, that is very important for you to have really high. 35% will be payments on time. The other very important part that will keep your credit, that counts for the credit, is what I gave, the length of the loans of the credit life.
Yeah, so credit life is one of them. So let's go in order, in order of percentages, right? So payment history, 35%. Now let's go to the next one, 30%. 30% of your score is how in debt you're in, right? How much of those limits did you use and are reporting on your credit profile? Or how much debt is currently reporting on your credit profile that you own? That's 30% of your score, right? That's why if you ever maxed out your credit cards and let that balance report on your credit profile, you'll see that your score will drop, right? The reasoning behind that is if you have high balances, then you become more of a risk. Now they're looking at it as what is the likelihood of this consumer not being able to pay that high balance back?
Yeah, like it's just basic logic, that one, for sure. Like if you're getting and getting in more debt, you know, just trying to fill your credit cards and you get a car loan or get a line of credit, then you try to go for a mortgage. They're like, why they're asking for so much money? You know, they cannot afford the life that they have. So that's very important. So that's 30%, yeah?
That's 30% of your score, right? So you'll see when you start paying your balances down, your score will actually go up, right?
Oh, I remember a tip that you gave me in the past. What is the ideal percentage that you should have to bump it up?
Well, ideally, you want at least between 1 and 3% of the limit reporting on your credit profile, right?
That's a very important tip. Don't pay off the whole credit card. Leave 1 to 3% of what you are using on your credit limit. Always kind of like use it so they see that you can manage credit and you still pay it, but you're not getting into a lot of debt. But
Exactly.
another thing that I want to ask you, I remember something about the 30%. Try to non pass over 30% of, I hear that somewhere. People say always that about the 30% of your limit too.
Well, you know, 30% a lot of times is from where I hear from loan officers is an underwriting requirement for DTI. So they always like things to be under that. The lower your balances, the better it's going to be for your score, and the better it's going to be for your debt to income ratios, because the less debt you owe and hold, the less of a risk you're going to be. So underwriters are going to look at that in a favorable manner, right? The credit scoring model is going to look at that in the favorable model, because less debt means less risk, and that's really what banks are looking for, is low risk. They want their money back eventually. You know what I mean?
No, in addition, just to get the loan, is a quick thing here that I want to add is for getting a loan. They're gonna say you made this amount of money a month. They're gonna use a debt to income ratio, and they will say, so 45% of what you make a month is gonna go to the mortgage payment. But they discount what you have to pay monthly. So if your credit card payment is huge because you want a lot of money, in addition, they already have a car loan, and that's big. All of that is going to be subtracted of the amount of money that you can pay monthly, and that is going to reduce a lot of the purchasing power when you're buying a home. So it's for the credit score, and credit is very important, but the credit ratio to be able to get a loan. And that's something of the things that me and Gabe will be here to help you about. And a loan officer, which Gabe and I, we're going to talk with another loan officer in a future video to help you more just towards the mortgage part of it, or how to improve a little bit the credit score to being able to qualify for the loan. Today is more about the credit, but I just want to jump in there with that information. The credit ratio that you have, so you're paying 300 in one credit card and 500 in another credit card and 500 in the car. those thousand and something are gonna reduce your credit ratio. And like Gabe said, it's gonna show to the credit score to companies that are calculating your credit score that you have a lot of debt comparing with what you're making, so it's gonna lower your credit score. So far we are 35% the payments of time, 30% the amount of debt. Yeah?
Correct. So the next one we have is length of credit history, right? So length of credit. How long have you had these accounts open for, right? So that's 15% of your score, okay? So the older your accounts, the better that's going to be for you, right? The newer your accounts, that's still okay, you know what I mean? But the older the accounts, the more weight or positive weight it'll have towards that 15% of your score, right? A really great way to influence 15% of your score, the length of your credit, is maybe become an authorized user on a family member's or spouse's credit card who may have older history than you do, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that when you become an authorized user, you have to you know, consistently swipe that card or anything like that. It just means that you can become an authorized user on that credit card and reap the benefit of that long history. It'll help you establish credit and also get credit cards in your own name to help you boost your score up as well. So that's also a really great way to influence.
Good tip, thank you, because that sometimes a good mortgage broker will try to advise that to a client that they need a little bit jump on their credit score very quick and like get somebody that authorize you with a long credit line. That helps a lot. Thank you so much for that tip. So that's 15%.
Yes, correct.
35 plus 30 plus 15. Those are the three ones that we have talked about.
Those are three, so we have two more, okay? So next we have new credit and inquiries. So if you get approved for credit, that's good, right? That's great that you got approved for credit. So that's going to influence 10% of your score. If you have too many inquiries on your credit profile, that could have a negative effect on your credit profile because it makes you look desperate. You know, if you have too many inquiries, some banks want to approve you for a credit card if you have more than 3 inquiries on your credit profile. Okay, so if you truly want to get a credit card, you know, make sure that you get a credit card that helps you in the long run. Does it have points? Does it not have an annual fee? Does it give you gas points? Does it give you miles and things of that nature? So really, if you're going to go ahead and get a credit card, make sure that it's going to have a positive effect on your credit profile and on your finances in the long run, okay? So that's really important, getting approved for credit, okay? Lastly, we have another 10% of your score, right? So 10% of your score is going to be credit mix, right? Types of credit used. So a credit card is a revolving line of credit. Okay, that's completely different from an installment loan, which is like a mortgage, an auto loan, a school loan, right? A line of credit and things of that nature. Those are all types of installment loans. So it's really important for you to have both, right? Both credit cards and installment loans. Really very important why you chose to have a credit card if you don't have a credit card right now, right? A lot of consumers don't think that they can get a credit card, and we know which credit cards you will most likely get approved for based on our experience of having clients who have absolutely no credit or maybe don't have the best possible credit. So I always suggest that you do get a credit card, that you use it responsibly, because how can you have good credit if you don't have credit?
Yeah,
right?
very, very important. Thank you so much for the big explanation, because understanding credit is not that easy. Most people don't know that. We really appreciate. Sorry, that's a weird noise in my house now. So something else that I wanted to talk about, and of course it's a quick here about Gabe's company. You guys work helping the clients to get prepared or to build credit as the first time. Do you have any specific fees, or how you guys work?
Well, we're performance-based, right? So for credit cards, you can call the office. If you need a link, we'll send you a link. We're not going to charge you to send you a link, right? And what I can also do is, I mean, I can send you the link and, we can post it somewhere. If they want to get a credit card, they can go ahead and just click on that and get the credit card that will help them establish credit, right? If you're looking for credit help, we have a very simple process, right? We're performance-based. We won't charge you until services have been provided, okay, which is really important. And what makes us different from monthly charges that other credit companies may have, and that's okay. They can have the way they want to bill, right? But we rather align our interests together as one. You want help with your credit, and we want to help you remove things that are not accurate, timely, or verifiable. So we align our interests together as one. So we charge an audit fee of $250 for a single enrollment and $350 for a double enrollment. A double enrollment could be like a spouse and the other spouse, right? So the $250, that goes towards an audit that we develop for you. It's an analysis of your credit profile. And it really lets us understand what's going on and lets you understand what's going on so that we can create a strategy to get you to a better place, okay? And we will only charge you that fee after we provide you that report, okay? That's very, very important. Thereafter, we charge based on performance. So if we help remove derogatory information that's not verifiable, timely, or accurate, we'll charge you a certain amount. Now, it's different between single enrollment and double enrollment, but we have a different scale, and we can provide that for you as well. But I'll use the simplest one, right? The simplest one is, let's say you have a collection account that doesn't belong to you, and it got removed off your credit profile. And it's reporting on 3 credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, which are the major 3 credit bureaus, okay? If we remove that collection account off your credit profile, off all 3, we'll charge you $50 per item per bureau, which means 50, 50, 50, okay? But you'll pay for that after we get that removed.
Yeah,
Right, not hopefully it'll get removed. It's kind of like when you go and get your haircut. Do you pay before or after you get your haircut? Pay after, right? And credit repair shouldn't be any different.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the information. We will have more information in credit. Gabe's going to give us his time again for the next video. Thank you again. And I hope everybody can use these tips and understand a little bit more their credit so everybody can keep a healthy credit history and a good credit score. So I'm here for helping you with any real estate needs, and Gabe is here to help you with all the credit nets and information. We will give you a consultation. Our information is going to be here in the video. So thank you so much for watching, and thank you again for your time, Gabe.
Thanks so much, Sienna, and everybody have a wonderful day.
Thank you.